Earth cut ties with the Galactic Council and left the universe in panic. Alex Carter looked out from the bridge of the human embassy ship. The stars stretched far and wide, shining cold and distant. The hum of the engines filled the room, but Alex's mind was not on the engines. He thought about the council meeting he had attended that morning. Another meeting where human voices were ignored. Another meeting where humans were treated like children. He sighed. Beside him, Lisa Brown studied the council reports on her tablet. Her brow was furrowed. She had been a fleet officer for 10 years, and she had seen many humans die following council orders. She could not forget them. She could not forgive the council for sending human fleets to dangerous missions with no real support. "Do you think they will ever listen to us?" Lisa asked quietly. Her voice was low, almost lost in the engine hum. Alex shook his head. "Not really. The council only listens to power. We have tried words, warnings, reason. It never works. Humans are always the last to matter." Lisa pressed her lips together. She had grown up believing that humans and aliens could live in peace. She had studied council law, diplomacy, and alien behavior for years. But now she felt tired. The council did not want humans as partners. They wanted humans as tools. Soldiers, laborers, explorers, expendable. On the main screen, a council representative spoke, his voice echoing in the embassy hall. His form was strange, tall and thin, with long limbs and gray skin. He smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. It was the smile of someone used to power. "Humans," he said, "your continued resistance to council policies is troubling. We remind you that cooperation is mandatory. Your fleets must follow council orders or face consequences." Alex's jaw tightened. He remembered how humans had followed orders in the past. They had sent fleets to defend worlds they did not know, fight wars that were not theirs, and explore dangerous systems. Humans had given more than any other race, and the council had always taken, never thanked, never respected. "Mandatory," Alex repeated softly, but there was no doubt in his voice. Lisa heard it. The bridge officers heard it. It was not a question, it was a warning. He turned to Lisa. "It is time to stop listening." Her eyes widened. She knew what he meant. She had suspected it for months. The idea had been whispered in human political circles, but no one had dared act on it. Leave the council, walk away, take the risk. "Leave?" Lisa asked, her voice trembling. "You mean break all contact?" Alex nodded. "Yes, we leave, no warnings. No negotiation. We cut ties completely." Lisa's hand shook as she placed her tablet down. The council had spies. Alien eyes everywhere. If they discovered this plan, they might attack Earth before humans were ready. Still, she felt a strange relief. Maybe humans would finally be free. "How?" she asked. "How do we tell them?" Alex smiled faintly. "We don't tell them, we just act, we prepare, and then we disappear." The bridge fell silent. Every officer knew the risk. Leaving the council was unheard of. No race had ever done it before. The council controlled trade, defense, laws, and even travel across much of known space. Leaving could bring war, isolation, and chaos. "But we have strength," Alex continued. "Humans have grown. We are stronger than they believe. Smarter, faster. More creative. We can survive. We can protect ourselves. And if the council panics, all the better. Maybe they will finally see humans as equals." Lisa nodded slowly. She felt fear, but also a spark of hope. For the first time, humans could act for themselves. Not for the council, not for alien politics, just for humans. Over the next days, Earth moved in secret. Fleets were recalled from distant colonies. Scientists were called back from research stations on alien planets. Trade agreements were quietly canceled. The council noticed delays and anomalies but thought it was just bureaucracy. They did not suspect a full departure. Alex and Lisa supervised every step. Alex worked with diplomats, planning messages and timing. Lisa organized the fleets, making sure ships could return to Earth safely. Every officer, every crew member was briefed only on what they needed to know. Secrecy was critical. One mistake could cost billions of lives. One evening, Alex walked along the docks of the Earth orbital station. Ships were being refueled and repaired. The lights reflected on the metal hulls, creating long shadows. He paused and looked at the stars. For centuries, humans had followed council rules. Now they were about to write their own destiny. He thought about the council envoy who had come to Earth last year. They had demanded human fleets for a distant war. Humans had obeyed. They had fought, bled, and returned, only to find alien worlds mocking them. Humans were always the last priority, always used, always disposable. "We are done with that," Alex whispered. Lisa approached him quietly. She had been watching him. "Are you ready?" she asked. Alex nodded. "Ready as we can be. The council won't know what hit them." The day came when the final decision had to be made. Alex sat in the human council chamber with Earth leaders from every nation. Debate had lasted for weeks, but now the vote was final. "We leave the Galactic Council," Alex said, reading the statement aloud. "Effective immediately, no more contact, no more obedience, Earth will act alone." The chamber erupted. Some leaders cheered, others cried. Some feared the unknown. Many knew there was no turning back. After the vote, Alex drafted one short message for the council. It was simple, direct, and final. Earth no longer participates in council affairs. Humanity will act for itself. Consider this our last message. He sent it through secure channels and watched as it left human space. He did not expect a reply. The council would panic. Rumors would spread. Alien fleets might move to intercept humans, but Earth was ready. Humans had prepared quietly for months. They were not helpless anymore. Lisa supervised the final fleet departures. Ships lifted from Earth docks, engines glowing, carrying humans and supplies back home. They left colonies and outposts without warning. Alien worlds would be confused. Some would panic. But the humans did not stop. They moved with precision, with focus, with purpose. On the bridge of one returning ship, Lisa watched the stars. She felt fear, yes, but also pride. Humans were acting as one. For the first time, they were united not by council orders, not by treaties, but by their own will. Alex watched from Earth orbital station. He felt a strange calm. Humans had waited too long for respect. Now they were taking it, quietly, carefully, but with determination. At night, the skies above Earth were bright with returning fleets. The message had been sent. The world was ready. Humans had decided. The universe would notice soon. In the coming days, alien observers tried to contact human space. No one answered. The council sent fleets to patrol near Earth, but they found empty ports, silent sensors, and ships gone. Panic began to spread quietly. No one knew what humans were planning. No one knew their strength. Alex knew it was only the beginning. The council had underestimated humans for centuries. Now, humans would show them what it meant to be free. As he walked along the orbital station, Alex thought of Lisa, the fleets, and the generations of humans who had suffered under the council. He thought of the unknown future ahead. Danger would come. Challenges would arrive. But humans would meet them, together. "Humanity is finally awake," he whispered to the stars. And for the first time, the hum of engines did not feel lonely. It felt like the heartbeat of a people who would never bow again. The galaxy did not take long to notice. One day, alien ambassadors in council chambers discovered that human ships had stopped responding. Supply lines were broken. Trade agreements were ignored. Human colonies sent no updates. The council first thought it was a technical failure. Then they realized the truth. Humans were gone. Panic spread quickly. Council leaders argued loudly. Some blamed each other. Others blamed the humans. The aliens who had relied on human fleets for defense now feared the worst. Pirate groups grew bolder, attacking border worlds with almost no resistance. Humans had been the shield, and now there was nothing. On the bridge of a council warship, alien Captain Sarin looked at his crew. "Humans will return," he said. They cannot abandon the galaxy. We just need to wait. But whispers among the crew told a different story. Humans were unpredictable. Humans were dangerous when ignored. Humans had left without warning. Now Council worlds had no time to prepare. Supplies were short. Fleets were scattered. Panic was growing. Back on Earth, Lisa Brown organized returning fleets. Ships moved fast, carrying humans and technology home. Alien warnings and calls for help went unanswered. Every officer and crew member knew the orders. Return safely, do not intervene, prepare for defense. On one returning ship, pilot Ryan Lee looked out at the stars. He had been stationed near a distant alien world, patrolling trade routes. Now he and his squadron were flying home. He felt relief, but also unease. What would the aliens do when they realized humans were gone? "We do not care," Lisa said quietly when she checked the pilots. "Our job is to protect humans, not aliens." Ryan nodded. He understood. Humans had been used for centuries. It was time to act for themselves. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council sent messages to every nearby race. They warned of human withdrawal and asked for assistance in locating human fleets. Most alien races were shocked. They had never seen a human move like this. Some began to fear humans more than they had feared the Council. Humans were unpredictable, clever, and strong. In some worlds, citizens protested. They had counted on human protection. They had traded, fought, and relied on humans. Now humans were gone. Some cities faced riots. Leaders panicked. They had no one to call. The Council fleets were thin, scattered, and ineffective. Humans had removed themselves from the equation, and the galaxy felt the void immediately. Alex Carter watched these developments from Earth Orbital Station. He read reports from human observers placed on Council worlds for years. Every system had anomalies. Panic was spreading. He did not smile. Humans were not here to punish aliens. Humans were here to be free. But seeing the Council fail without human help gave him a grim satisfaction. "They think they can control the galaxy without us," Alex said to Lisa. She stood beside him, arms crossed. "They underestimated us," Lisa said. As always, the Council began to act. Fleets were sent to monitor human space, but sensors showed nothing unusual. Human colonies were silent. The Council tried diplomatic channels, but all messages were ignored. Some Council members wanted to send fleets directly into Earth orbit, but they hesitated. Humans had weapons unknown to the Council. Humans had fleets capable of repelling attacks. No one wanted a direct conflict. On a distant colony, scientist Nina Cole watched humans leave with mixed feelings. She had worked with humans for years. They were brilliant, resourceful, and loyal. She understood why they were leaving. Still, she feared the consequences. Without humans, the galaxy could fall into chaos. Pirates and rogue fleets would grow unchecked. Council fleets would fight among themselves. Billions of lives could be lost. Nina tried to warn the Council, but her voice was drowned out by fear and politics. Humans had removed themselves completely. She had no idea when, or if, they would return. Back on Earth, fleets continued to arrive. Ships carried humans, supplies, and even alien technology that humans had studied secretly for years. Alex Carter oversaw every step. They would defend their home, and they would do it alone. Humans had built defenses in secret, long hidden from Council eyes. Weapons, shields, and ships far superior to anything the Council knew existed were ready. Lisa Brown trained pilots for hours every day. They ran simulations of attacks on human cities, pirate raids, and Council invasions. Humans had learned to fight with strategy, speed, and creativity. They were no longer expendable. They were prepared. On Earth, ordinary citizens felt the changes too. Factories produced new starships and defensive systems. Engineers worked around the clock. Humans from all nations united for one purpose: protection. Alien influence had been removed. Humans were acting together as one species for the first time in history. In the council chambers, panic became obvious. Fleets tried to patrol border systems near human space, but humans had already evacuated. Sensors could not track them. Messages went unanswered. The council was forced to admit a terrifying truth. Humans had left and the galaxy could not stop them. Meanwhile, human observers reported alien reactions. Some races were scared. Some tried to negotiate secretly. Some plotted attacks, but humans had already left those regions. No one could act against them. Humans moved like shadows in space, unseen and untouchable. Ryan Lee, on patrol above a mining planet, watched an alien freighter struggle against pirates. Normally, he would have been ordered to help. Now he did nothing. He followed the instructions, focus on humans, not aliens. It was strange at first. Humans had always helped, sometimes at great cost. Now they were learning to act for themselves. It feels wrong, another pilot whispered. We could save them. We are not here to save them, Lisa said sharply. We are here to protect humanity, remember that. The pilots nodded, some with guilt, some with relief. They followed orders. They were learning a new lesson. Humans come first, always. Back on Earth, Alex Carter received reports of alien fleets moving erratically. Council commanders argued with each other. Pirates attacked weak systems. Some worlds began to collapse under internal chaos. Humans had been the stabilizers, the unifying force, and now they were gone. Alex studied the reports. Humans do not need the council, he said softly. Lisa nodded. She could see it too. Humans were stronger than anyone realized. They had been underestimated for too long. Weeks passed, fleets returned, colonies reconnected with Earth. Communication networks were restored. Humans spoke only to each other. Alien calls went unanswered. Panic across the galaxy increased. Humans did not interfere, but their absence was felt everywhere. On one distant world, an alien governor realized humans had deliberately left. He panicked and sent fleets to human space, hoping to provoke a reaction. He was not prepared. Human sensors detected the fleets and tracked them easily. They were monitored, not attacked. Humans could have destroyed them, but they did not. Humans wanted freedom, not war. Let them come, Alex said quietly. They will see we are not weak. Lisa smiled faintly. She felt pride. Humans had acted together for themselves for the first time. They had left the council, and the galaxy had noticed. The story of human withdrawal spread slowly at first, then quickly. Alien worlds whispered of humans who could leave the council, move silently, and still survive. Fear began to replace arrogance. Humans had acted without warning, without negotiation, and without hesitation. The galaxy realized one thing: humans were no longer predictable, no longer controllable, and no longer tools. Ryan Lee and his squadron watched the galaxy pass by. Stars, planets, systems, all waiting for humans to intervene. Now humans chose their own path. It was strange and terrifying to others, but exhilarating to them. Humans were free. Humans were united. Humans were ready. Alex Carter looked at the stars from Earth Orbital Station. He knew the Council would panic more and the galaxy would try to respond. But humans would not bend. Humans had grown. Humans had learned to act for themselves. The universe would never see humans the same way again. We have done it, Lisa said beside him. They cannot touch us, Alex nodded. And they will not unless we want them to. The galaxy held its breath. The Council tried to reorganize. Fleets moved cautiously. Pirates celebrated. Colonies panicked. Everywhere chaos began to grow, all because humans had left. All because humans had finally acted for themselves. Humans had pulled back, but they were not hiding. They were preparing. They were observing. They were learning the full extent of the galaxy's power without being used by it. And for the first time, humans could truly decide their own destiny. Earth was quiet now, but not weak. Alex Carter walked along the orbital station, watching the fleets move in formation around the planet. For centuries, humans had followed council orders. Now they followed their own. Humans were united, and for the first time, every decision was made for humanity's protection and growth. Lisa Brown supervised the training of new pilots. The training rooms were full of young men and women who had grown up hearing stories of human fleets obeying alien commands. Now, they trained to act for themselves. They learned tactics no alien could predict, simulations of pirate attacks, council fleets, and unknown threats. They were fast, precise, and creative. Humans had learned from centuries of being underestimated. Alex met with diplomats in a secure chamber. They were no longer speaking to the council or alien leaders. They spoke of resources, defenses, and technology. Human colonies had been recalled and all ships and stations were under Earth command. Humans had never been this organized before. Now, with all decisions made for the sake of humanity, they had a new strength. "We have the advantage," Alex said. "We know the galaxy better than anyone. Aliens have spies, but we have freedom. They cannot touch us unless we let them." Lisa nodded. "Our fleets are ready. Our defenses are ready. Humans will survive anything now." Outside, fleets patrolled Earth space. Sensors scanned nearby systems. Humans had learned to hide their movements, to confuse alien scouts, and to gather intelligence quietly. They had spent decades observing council worlds, learning strengths, weaknesses, and strategies. Now all that knowledge belonged to humans alone. On a distant colony, scientist Nina Cole monitored human communications. She had stayed behind to keep research running. She watched humans pull back and wondered what they would do next. Humans were preparing. Aliens would not know what humans were planning until it was too late. "Humans are too clever," Nina said quietly to herself. "They will survive." Meanwhile, the Galactic Council tried to regain control. Fleets moved toward human space, hoping to intimidate. They did not know humans had already built defenses long hidden. Sensor arrays detected every fleet movement. Alien ships were tracked before they even left their docks. Humans had prepared for attack, but they did not strike. Humans did not need to. They only needed to be ready. Ryan Lee flew above a mining planet with his squadron. His eyes scanned the stars. They detected council patrols approaching, but humans had set traps and decoys. Alien fleets would find nothing. Humans could strike if needed, but for now, they were learning. Observation was the best weapon. Humans had learned patience. Humans had learned strategy. Humans had learned survival. Back on Earth, factories and labs worked tirelessly. Engineers built new ships, faster and stronger than before. Scientists developed shields and weapons that aliens could not imagine. Humans shared knowledge with each other freely, without the interference of the Council. For the first time, human technology advanced without limits. Lisa Brown watched the progress with pride. She had trained fleets for decades under Council rules. Now she trained them for freedom. Human pilots learned to think for themselves, to act without orders, to protect what was theirs. No one controlled them anymore. They were not tools. They were humans. Alex Carter met with leaders from all human colonies. The discussions were different now. No one argued about alien laws or trade agreements. Every decision was about defense, growth, and unity. Humans were building a network that could survive any threat. Every colony, every ship, every station worked together. Humans had become a single force, not bound by politics or fear. "We must be ready," Alex said. "The galaxy will test us. Pirates, council fleets, unknown threats, they will all come. We need to be stronger than anyone expects." Lisa added, "And we will be. Humans have survived worse. Humans have adapted. Humans are ready." In space, fleets moved like shadows. Humans were careful, silent, and precise. They monitored alien systems, gathered intelligence, and ensured Earth and its colonies were safe. Aliens had no idea where humans had positioned their forces. Humans could appear anywhere, strike if needed, or vanish without a trace. They were not aggressive, but they were ready. On a council planet, rumors spread. Humans were no longer predictable. Humans were no longer controlled. Humans had withdrawn completely. Some races panicked. Some began to fortify their worlds, fearing human power. The council tried to reassure them, but fear had already taken hold. Humans had changed the balance of the galaxy simply by leaving. Ryan Lee and his squadron completed another patrol. They returned to Earth orbit quietly. Each pilot felt a strange mix of fear and pride. Humans had left the council. Humans had pulled back, but humans had grown stronger. For the first time, humans acted for themselves, not as tools. Alex Carter looked at reports from human sensors. Unknown movements in the outer galaxy were detected. No one knew what they were, but humans could see them. Humans could track them. Humans could respond if needed. For now, they watched and prepared. Observation was power, and humans had plenty. Lisa Brown trained a group of new recruits in tactics and strategy. She emphasized creativity and unpredictability. Humans had learned from the council. Humans had learned from history. Humans were no longer naive. They were ready for anything. In the laboratories, scientists tested new defensive systems. Energy shields, stealth drives, advanced communication networks, all designed to protect humanity first. Humans could now defend themselves against any council fleet, pirate attack, or alien uprising. They had prepared for years without anyone noticing. Now they were a force unlike any other. On Earth, Alex and Lisa met once more in the command chamber. They watched the stars. Fleets moved silently, humans patrolled and trained, scientists worked, engineers built. Everything was ready. The galaxy had no idea what humans were capable of. "We are not alone in the galaxy anymore," Alex said, "but we are ready. Humans will survive whatever comes." Lisa nodded. "And humans will grow stronger. No council, no alien interference, nothing can stop us now." The days passed. Fleets continued patrols, sensors scanned distant systems, and humans worked together as one species. No one commanded them except themselves. Humans had left the council. Humans had taken control of their own destiny. Aliens began to realize humans were not returning. Council fleets moved cautiously. Pirates tested border systems. Some colonies panicked. Humans watched quietly, prepared to respond if needed. Humans had no interest in unnecessary war. Humans wanted safety, growth, and freedom. Humans had learned patience. Humans had learned power. Humans had learned themselves. Ryan Lee flew another patrol, looking at distant systems. He thought of the humans who had followed council orders for centuries. He thought of all the fleets that had been sent into danger. Now humans acted for themselves. Now humans had learned to survive and protect each other. Humans were a force no one could underestimate. Alex Carter read reports from the outer galaxy. Sensor readings showed unknown activity far from human space. It was not immediately dangerous, but humans observed carefully. Humans prepared for threats, known and unknown. Humans were not afraid. Humans had learned to fight, adapt, and protect themselves. Humans were ready for anything. Lisa Brown completed a training exercise with new pilots. They moved quickly, thinking ahead, predicting enemy moves, creating strategies that no alien had ever seen. Humans were no longer reactive. Humans were proactive. Humans had become their own force, and the galaxy had yet to understand it. As the sun set over Earth orbital station, Alex Carter looked out at the fleets and satellites, the stations and colonies. Humans had left the council. Humans had withdrawn from the galaxy. And humans were ready. The galaxy would test them, but humans had prepared for every challenge. Humans had survived before. Humans would survive again. "The universe will see us soon," Alex whispered, "and they will understand. Humans do not need the council. The council needs humans." Lisa stood beside him, silent for a moment. She watched the stars. She felt pride, fear, and hope. Humans were united, strong, and free. And for the first time in history, humans controlled their own destiny completely. Humans had grown. Humans had learned. Humans had prepared. And the galaxy would soon realize that a species once underestimated was now a force to be reckoned with. The galaxy was in chaos. Without human fleets, the Galactic Council struggled to maintain order. Trade routes collapsed, border systems fell into pirate hands, and some council worlds faced rebellion from their own citizens. No one had expected humans to leave, and now the consequences were clear. On one distant planet, explosions shook cities as pirate fleets attacked undefended colonies. Civilians ran through streets filled with fire and smoke. Council soldiers tried to respond, but they were few and disorganized. Reports arrived quickly at Council headquarters. Billions of lives were at risk. Panic spread among leaders. Back on Earth, Alex Carter watched the reports silently. Humans had acted for themselves, not for the galaxy, yet they could not ignore what was happening. Humans had grown strong, smart, and united. Humans had the ability to act when they chose, and now the galaxy needed them. "This is what we expected," Alex said. Lisa Brown stood beside him, her face tense. "The Council has failed. The galaxy cannot survive without humans." "So we help?" Lisa asked. She knew Alex's answer would not be simple. Humans had always helped before, but now they acted for themselves. "We help if we choose," Alex said. "We are not the Council's soldiers. We are humans. We save who we want when we want. And we do it on our terms." The Council, desperate and frightened, decided to send a single envoy to Earth. They could not risk sending fleets. They needed humans to act, and they could not attack directly without provoking retaliation. The envoy was small, unarmed, and humble. It carried messages of desperation and pleas for help. On Earth Orbital Station, the envoy arrived. Sensors detected the small ship, and Alex met the alien ambassadors in a secure chamber. They bowed and spoke quickly. "Humans," the lead envoy said, "our galaxy is failing. Systems are collapsing. Billions are at risk. We beg you to act. Please help us." Alex listened quietly. Lisa watched the envoy, arms crossed. Humans had been ignored, used, and belittled for centuries. Now the galaxy begged for help. "Why should we help?" Alex asked finally. His voice was calm but firm. "Because without humans, everything will be destroyed," the envoy said. "We cannot survive without your fleets, your technology, your guidance." Alex considered the words. Humans had always acted for others. Now they acted for themselves. The galaxy had learned to fear them, respect them, and finally understand that humans were not tools. Humans had power and they had choice. "We will help," Alex said finally, "but on our terms. Humans act when and where we choose. We will save lives, but we will not return to the Council. We are not your soldiers. We are humans." The envoy bowed again, relief and fear in their eyes. They knew the galaxy would pay attention to what humans decided next. Lisa Brown prepared the fleet for departure. Ships were loaded with supplies, weapons, and advanced technology. Humans had been observing the galaxy for months. They knew where help was needed most. They would act, but with strategy and care. Humans were not reckless. They were precise, strong, and united. On the way to the outer systems, human fleets encountered chaos. Pirate fleets attacked small colonies. Council fleets clashed with rebels. Systems teetered on the edge of collapse. Humans moved quickly, using tactics no alien could predict. They protected civilians, repelled pirates, and stabilized colonies. Humans did not act as Council soldiers. They acted as humans who chose to save lives. Ryan Lee led a squadron through a battle near a mining planet. Pirate ships fired, but human tactics were unmatched. Humans coordinated silently, moving faster, predicting enemy moves, and striking efficiently. In hours, the pirates were defeated, civilians were safe, and human forces withdrew without remaining in the system. Humans were observers, protectors, and judges of where help was needed. Alex Carter received reports of the fleet's success. Humans had acted decisively. The galaxy began to whisper again, but now with fear. Humans were powerful, intelligent, and selective. Humans had left the council, and now they chose who to protect. The balance of power in the galaxy was shifting. On another planet, scientist Nina Cole watched human fleet stabilize systems. She had stayed behind to continue research on advanced defense systems. She realized that humans had evolved beyond what any alien had expected. Humans were not just strong in battle. They were smart, patient, and united. They had learned strategy, technology, and coordination far beyond any other species. Humans are not just leaving the council, Nina said quietly to herself. They are teaching the galaxy a lesson in power and choice. Back on Earth, Alex and Lisa planned the next steps. Humans would continue to help, but they would remain independent. Every fleet, every ship, every human colony was under Earth command. Humans had withdrawn completely, but now they had the chance to influence the galaxy on their own terms. We can save billions, Alex said, but we decide where, when, and how. We are humans first, not council tools, Lisa nodded. The galaxy will learn that humans are not predictable. They will learn that humans are powerful, and they will respect us. Human fleets moved from system to system, stabilizing planets, rebuilding infrastructure, and protecting civilians. Humans acted quickly, efficiently, and with precision. The council watched helplessly, realizing they had underestimated humans for centuries. Humans had power, technology, and strategy the council could not match. On a distant border world, pirates attacked a settlement. Human ships arrived silently. In hours, the pirates were defeated and the colony was saved. Humans did not remain. They left quietly, leaving the council and the locals amazed. The legend of human fleets began to grow. Humans were not just soldiers. They were protectors who acted by choice, and their power was unmatched. Alex Carter received messages from colonies and fleets. Humans were coordinating on a scale no alien race could understand. Information moved quickly, technology was shared freely, and every human acted with the same goal: protect humanity, observe the galaxy, and act when necessary. Humans were no longer reactive. Humans were proactive. Humans had become a force unlike any other. Lisa Brown trained pilots in advanced strategy. They practiced surprise attacks, defensive formations, and rapid deployment. Humans were learning to predict alien tactics, anticipate threats, and act with precision. No fleet, no pirate, no council force could challenge them effectively. Humans were united, strong, and clever. As human fleets moved through the galaxy, colonies stabilized, pirates defeated, and the council struggled to understand what was happening. Humans had chosen to act. Humans had chosen to protect. Humans had chosen to remain free. Ryan Lee completed another mission, returning to Earth space. He looked at the stars, thinking of how far humans had come. Humans had left the council, survived isolation, trained fleets, and now helped the galaxy, not because they were forced, but because they chose to. Humans were powerful, unpredictable, and united. The galaxy would never forget it. Alex Carter watched reports from all systems. Humans had stabilized billions of lives, defeated pirates, and observed council fleets. The galaxy was in awe. Humans had acted decisively, but they were independent. Humans had power, choice, and strategy. Humans were not tools. Humans were humans. Lisa Brown stood beside Alex, looking at the stars. She felt pride, fear, and hope. Humans had left the council. Humans had survived. Humans had acted to help the galaxy, but humans had done it on their own terms. Humans had grown stronger than anyone had imagined. "We have made our mark," Alex said quietly. "The galaxy knows humans are not to be underestimated." "And they will remember it," Lisa replied. "Humans are free, powerful, and united. The galaxy cannot ignore us now." Human fleets returned to Earth space, replenished and prepared for the next challenge. Humans had acted decisively, saved lives, and remained independent. They had learned strategy, patience, and coordination. They had grown stronger than any alien could imagine. The Galactic Council realized too late that humans were not to be controlled. Humans had power, choice, and independence. Humans had left, and now humans decided how to act. The universe had been humbled. Humans had shown what it meant to be free, united, and strong. Alex Carter and Lisa Brown watched from Earth Orbital Station as fleets returned and prepared for the future. Humans had acted wisely, decisively, and independently. The galaxy would never forget it. Humans had grown. Humans had learned. Humans had survived. Humans had chosen their own destiny. The universe had begged and humans had answered, but on their own terms. The Galactic Council and alien races would remember it forever. Humans were not tools. Humans were not predictable. Humans were powerful, united, and free. And humans had decided when, where, and how to act. Human fleets moved through the galaxy with precision. Every ship, every pilot, every crew member knew their mission: protect life where humans chose to, and act only when necessary. No one told them what to do. Humans had left the council, left alien politics behind, and now acted by their own judgment. Alex Carter watched reports come in from fleets stationed at distant systems. Pirates had been defeated. Border worlds were secure. Colonies had regained stability. Humans had not needed to fight every battle, but when they acted, their efficiency was unmatched. Fleets moved like shadows, striking only where they were needed and disappearing before the Council or anyone else could respond. Humans are changing the galaxy, Lisa Brown said quietly beside him. The Council cannot control us and others now fear us. Alex nodded. They underestimated humans for centuries. Now the galaxy knows our strength, but we choose our own path. We are not tools. We are humans. Far from Earth, Ryan Lee and his squadron completed another mission. A pirate fleet had attacked a remote colony. Humans intercepted swiftly. They used tactics no alien could predict: fake retreats, simultaneous strikes from multiple directions, and advanced technology that gave them an edge. In a few hours, the pirates were gone and the colony was safe. Humans did not linger. They left quietly, leaving the aliens and council fleets amazed and fearful. On Earth, scientists continued to develop advanced systems. Stealth ships, energy shields, rapid deployment vessels, and communication networks were now fully operational. Humans had learned to coordinate on a scale no other species could match. Every colony, every fleet, every station acted together seamlessly. Humans had grown stronger than the Council could imagine. Alex held a meeting with human leaders from every colony. Discussions focused on defense, growth, and observation. No alien interference was allowed. Humans made their own decisions. "We have saved lives across the galaxy," Alex said. "We have acted when we chose. Now we must prepare for the future. Humans must remain united and strong so no one can ever force us to obey again." Lisa Brown added, "Our fleets are trained. Our technology is advanced. Humans have proven we can act alone. We protect life, but only as we decide." Meanwhile, the Galactic Council tried to regain control. Fleets were sent to patrol near human space, hoping to intimidate. But humans had prepared. Sensors detected every movement. Fleets were tracked and monitored. Humans could strike if necessary, but they did not. Humans were not reckless. Humans were precise, strategic, and patient. On one distant world, the Council sent envoys again, begging humans to intervene in a growing rebellion. Alex read their message carefully. Humans had already helped stabilize several systems. Now humans would decide if this world would be saved. "We will help," Alex said, "but on our terms. Humans act only when they choose and only to protect life. We do not follow orders. We do not serve the Council." Lisa prepared the fleet for departure. Ships moved efficiently. Supplies, weapons, and technology were loaded. Humans had learned from every Council battle, every pirate raid, every danger they had faced. They were ready for any challenge. In space, humans arrived at the rebellious system. Fleets observed carefully, scanning for threats. Council fleets hesitated, unsure how humans would act. Pirates tried to take advantage, but humans struck with precision. Cities were secured, pirate fleets defeated. The rebellion was contained with minimal casualties. Humans left quietly afterward, leaving alien authorities in awe. Ryan Lee reflected on the missions. Humans had not acted recklessly. They had not sought glory or revenge. They had acted to protect life where humans saw it was in danger. Humans were independent, powerful, and wise. The galaxy had learned a hard lesson. Humans could act decisively, but only by choice. Back on Earth, Alex and Lisa monitored all human colonies. Communication networks showed stability. Fleets were positioned strategically. Humans were united and prepared. The galaxy had witnessed their power. Humans had not returned to the Council, and they never would. Humans had grown too strong, too clever, and too united. The Council underestimated us, Alex said. But now the galaxy knows humans are not tools, not servants, not predictable. We are humans and we decide our own destiny, Lisa nodded. We have helped, but we remain free. Humans have power and humans have choice. The universe will respect that from now on. Across the galaxy, alien races whispered about humans. Some feared them, some respected them. The Council struggled to maintain authority. They had once treated humans as expendable. Now humans were the saviors of the galaxy, but on their own terms. The balance of power had shifted, and no alien or Council fleet could ignore it. Ryan Lee returned from another mission to Earth Orbital Station. Pilots shared stories of precise strikes, quick rescues, and minimal casualties. Humans had learned from centuries of Council control, from every battle and from every mistake. Now humans acted together as a united force, unstoppable and unpredictable. Alex Carter reviewed the reports. Humans had stabilized dozens of systems, saved billions of lives, and remained independent. The galaxy had learned an important truth. Humans could survive, protect, and grow without the Council. Humans were powerful, united, and free. Lisa Brown addressed a training session for new pilots. You are not here to follow orders from the Council or any alien race. You are here to act as humans. Protect life where it is needed, observe the galaxy, and act with precision. Remember, humans come first always. We have power and we use it wisely. The pilots nodded. They understood. Humans had learned independence. Humans had learned strategy. Humans had learned survival. Humans were now a force unlike any other. On a distant planet, scientist Nina Cole watched human fleets stabilize a system under threat. Humans had not stayed. They had observed, acted, and left. The colonies were safe, the pirates gone, and the Council could do nothing. Humans had shown intelligence, strength, and restraint. The galaxy had learned that humans acted only when they chose. Humans were not predictable. Humans were not controllable. Humans were free. Back on Earth, Alex and Lisa watched fleets return from missions. They had helped stabilize systems, defeated threats, and protected billions. Humans had acted decisively, but they had not lost their independence. The galaxy had learned respect and fear. Humans had grown beyond what any Council or alien had expected. We have made our mark, Alex said quietly. The galaxy knows humans are strong, clever, and united. We have acted to protect life, but always on our terms. And they will remember it, Lisa replied. Humans do not need the Council needs humans. And now the galaxy respects that truth. Human fleets returned to Earth space, replenished, and prepared for the future. Humans had acted decisively, saved lives, and remained independent. They had learned strategy, patience, and coordination. They had grown stronger than any alien could imagine. The Galactic Council realized they could never control humans. Humans had power, independence, and choice. Humans had left the Council and acted on their own terms. The universe had been humbled. Humans had shown what it meant to be free, united, and strong. Alex Carter looked at the stars from Earth Orbital Station. Humans had grown. Humans had learned. Humans had survived. Humans had chosen their own destiny. The galaxy would never see humans the same way again. Lisa Brown stood beside him, silent. She watched the stars. She felt pride, hope, and determination. Humans had left the council. Humans had acted decisively. Humans had protected billions. And humans had done it on their own terms. "The galaxy knows who we are now," Alex whispered. "Humans are powerful, united, and free. We decide our own destiny." Lisa nodded. "Humans have grown. Humans are strong, and the universe will never forget it." The story ended with humans standing proudly in space. Humans had left the council. Humans had survived isolation. Humans had acted decisively to protect life. Humans had proven that they were independent, clever, and strong. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humans were not tools. Humans were not predictable. Humans were not controllable. Humans were free, united, and powerful. Humanity had chosen its path. Humanity had secured its place in the galaxy. Humanity had proven that independence and strength could exist together, and the universe finally understood. Humans do not need the council. The council needs humans.